The shell of the project is all set up for you, including CSS styles and forms. There is also a SQLite database with all the tables and fields that you need, as well as some of the initial test data. In this video, we'll use PHP's Data Object, or PDO for short, to connect the application to the database for accessing the projects and task data. You should already be familiar with setting up a connection to the database, but we'll cover everything that you need to know in this video. If you'd like more details than what's covered here, check out the notes associated with this video. We're going to write code to instantiate or create an instance of an object from the PDO class. This object variable gives us all the attributes and actions that we need to interact with the database. Let's go into workspaces. Let's create a new file for connecting to the database. Let's add this file to the includes directory, inc for short. We'll name this file connection.php. To create an object from a class, you first specify a variable name for the object you want to create. We'll call our object db for database. We want to assign this variable a value, so we use an equal sign. To create a new object, we use the keyword new. We then specify the class name followed by parentheses. This creates a new empty object variable of the type PDO. Just like calling the function array creates an empty array. Also like the array function, you can often pass arguments when you create a new object. With a PDO object, you pass in the information needed to connect to the database. We'll be using SQLite for the following example, so let's check out the documentation to remind us about what is needed for that database. In your browser, search for PDO SQLite. The first result is the one we want. PDO SQLite is a driver that implements the PHP Data Object to enable access to SQLite 3 databases. A driver is a piece of software that connects one thing to another. In this case, the PDO driver connects SQLite to PHP using the PHP Data Object. In the table of contents, the first link is for PDO SQLite DSN. In order for PDO to use the SQLite database, we need to pass the data source name. To access a database on disk, we pass the prefix SQLite followed by the absolute path to the database. Okay, let's go back and add this to our connection. Within our call to the PDO class, we're going to add SQLite, and in our case, the database is in the include folder as well. So we're going to use the magic constant __dir __, and then /database.db. On the next line, we're going to var dump our db variable. This will make sure that we've created our new object. Let's run this file in the console to see what's going on. View, show console. Type php inc connection.php. We see that it's dumping an object. It's a PDO object, so our PHP code is now connecting to an external system, a SQLite database. But what if we make a mistake, like a spelling error? Let's change SQLite to have 2 L's, since that's the way I want to type it anyway. Now we get a bunch of errors, and we don't want that. So the next thing for us to do is a little bit of error handling.